Hello, Tauruses. This is your how do they feel about you? What are they thinking about you reading? This is someone who is very, very deep in thought. So this is giving me the energy that they could have made a decision or they're about to make a decision about this connection, but they have some regret, some grief, some overthinking around. It feels like an overcomplicated energy. And it feels like an energy of escaping from something, maybe escaping from the reality of a situation, maybe escaping from kind of facing obstacles that there may have been between the two of you, maybe facing, maybe escaping from facing their true feelings, maybe escaping from just literally talking to you. It feels like there is a loop almost, like someone just running around in circles. And I think this person is coming to be very aware that this decision that they made is either not the decision that they should have made, or that it's going to come to bite them in the ass later, like either way. Like they're going to have to face whatever they were escaping from eventually, whether these were feelings, whether these were obstacles, whether this was a serious conversation between the two of you. Regardless of what this was, when they think of you, this is what this person thinks about, is whatever this decision might be, or it feels like there is disappointment in their own self. Maybe for how they may have treated you, because it feels like they've either wronged you in some way or they've acted in a way that made them feel very small. Like they weren't brave enough for something, and it almost feels like they judge themselves for it as well. So they may not be in the best headspace right now, even if this happened a long time ago. With Pisces energy, I always think of things that are just kind of always in the background of our mind, things that are more subconscious, things that can randomly get triggered by the smallest and the most random of things. And that's what it feels like, is that no matter how long it may have been, this decision, while it may have felt like the right thing to do at the time on some level, it feels like it haunts them a little bit, like they're going in circles around this decision and thinking about it over and over again, but not really getting anywhere. So it feels like while they may have been in an energy of acceptance around this decision in the past, either something has changed in their life or something has changed in their mind that is now changing their perspective of their past decisions as well. And this seems to be one of these decisions. They either made a choice or felt like they had no choice. There could have been other people involved in this situation, but you would already know about this. This could also be that they wanted to move somewhere else, to another community, another society. This could be another country, it could be another city. They could have switched jobs. It just feels like they could have had another obligation somewhere else, to another person or to another group of people. Whether this is a work obligation, a family obligation, this could have been the reason this connection didn't fully work out, at least on a surface level. Because I do feel that there is a lot more to this situation than what it may have seemed on the outside, on a surface level. Something in the energy seems to have shifted or seems to be shifting, and maybe that's what's causing this change in balance. I'm thinking of the Temperance card, and we have number 44, experience. So this for me again confirms that something has been changing, evolving, and it's been making them see things differently, from a different angle, including this situation. And I pick up the deck again, and we have Law of Love. Leo energy could be significant, and we have choice as well. It feels like something made them not choose this situation. Either their fears or just 3D obligations, whatever they may be. And I think they're ruminating on that decision a lot, essentially. Seems like they were scared, and they might still be scared to do what they want to do. Maybe because they can't have everything they want, and this person is thinking that they didn't give you what you deserve. They gave you less, or they gave you just a part of what you deserve. But it feels like something's changed, and now they feel a little bit more in control, but I wouldn't necessarily take that as a sign of this person not being afraid anymore, especially with the Strength card in reverse. But I can tell you that this person doesn't want to be controlled by their fears or their anxiety or other things anymore. They seem to be in an energy of slowly moving to a place of gaining more clarity, either over their own actions and their own patterns and what keeps them stuck, so they can kind of undo these patterns and then move forward in whatever direction they need to move forward. I think they're definitely evolving, but a part of them might be too afraid to kind of own that evolution, in the sense that their comfort zone could be these old patterns of being afraid, of not wanting to be too intimate, of not standing up for themselves, whatever it may be that they specifically deal with in their own behavior, in their own patterns, whatever they block themselves with. It feels like that may have been their comfort zone, and no matter how not fun our comfort zone is, it is comfortable. And that's why sometimes it's hard to leave it, even when you've outgrown it in a way, which I can see that this person has kind of been doing, but at the same time, a part of them still seems to be a little anxious, a little overthinking. I feel like there is definitely spontaneous energy, because the Knight of Swords and the Ace of Wands are both kind of just inspired, like I'm taking action kind of energy. But at the same time, they're not the most stable because they're so spontaneous. That's not to say I don't think this person hasn't been working on themselves, or that they don't have or that they haven't had a build-up to this energy. But at the same time, it is unstable, is how I would describe what I'm feeling. There is movement, but it's not very stable movement. They might be having dreams about you, especially dreams of particular moments, or even kind of moments they created in their head, in their dream state, where they might be breaking your heart. That's kind of what's playing in my mind is a sad scene. It feels like it's from a movie. And it feels like they either repeat that thought, that memory in their head all the time, or they might be dreaming about similar instances where somehow they hurt you, where you're upset at them. That seems to be, yeah. We have the Sun in reverse. 19 could be significant. 2019 could be significant. That is the number 19 really caught my eye in this reading specifically. They're definitely sad. But I don't think they're sad because of something you did. I think they're sad because of where you might be right now with each other. Because it doesn't feel like you're together. this definitely feels like succession to me. I would be very surprised if you are with this person and like everything is okay, because it feels like they don't perceive things to be okay. It feels like a part of them wants to make things right, but another part of them is still overthinking. It almost feels like a lot could have changed in their life, or they could have gained a lot of new insight into their own behavior. And there is a need to slow down on the one end. Like they need to slow down. They feel the need to slow down and not make too many changes now. But another part of them is almost craving more. It's very push and pull. It's quite a confused energy. But it feels like a fog. Like I'm seeing it as a fog that's gonna pass rather than this is forever their energy now and they will forever feel like this. There's definitely a lot of curiosity towards you as well. Maybe you've been a little mysterious towards them lately, especially if you're in no contact. Maybe they can't like spy on you. Or if you have social media, maybe they do spy on you, or like they do try to keep an eye on you, but they don't really interact with you. Or it feels like whatever information they have on you right now isn't enough. They feel like you're too far away. They may not even know where you are, like exactly in the physical sense. They may have been going through a little bit of a rough period where, again, a lot of changes have been happening in their life. Whether these are career changes, changes in family, their energy feels heavy right now. I think they're tired. Like my chest feels heavy. But I know it sounds like really kind of, I know it sounds upsetting, but I don't know how to explain this energy because I think they're actually doing well in a way, but it seems like we've caught them in a weird time almost. They might be sick as well for some of you. Because it almost feels like that low energy feeling when you're like really sick and really fatigued. But again, this could also just be like them being overwhelmed by something and not really being able to give too much to anything right now. I heard, and like I'm kind of just, I heard I would give you everything if I could. And then like, I don't know, it caught me by surprise for a second, but I also saw the Ten of Pentacles at the same time. So I feel called to mention this, but of course, as usual, take these messages however they resonate with you. This is a general reading, so not every message may be meant for you and meant for your situation. So let's get you some final messages. I think this person sees you as someone very independent as well, like you're doing well for yourself. It's not them worrying about whether like you're figuring things out, but it's more so them missing you, I think. We have I don't feel the same. I try to do the right thing for some of you. This person may have rejected you. Like this, for some of you, this could have been a friend who rejected you or pulled away. But obviously you would know if this is your situation. For others of you, the main energy I get from I don't feel the same relates back to all of these changes. And how in the past, while they may have escaped And maybe that felt like the right thing to do at the time. Now they don't feel the same about it. We have, I was stupid. I'm realizing that now. I don't know if we're compatible. I feel like there are a bunch of different situations here. There is so much I want to say to you. I heard, where are you? Maybe some of you like just don't use social media, don't have any mutual friends with this person, and just disappeared off the face of the earth. Or maybe you moved somewhere, or you told them you wanted to move or make some change, and now they don't know where you're at anymore. We have, I like your energy. I had a dream about you last night. Yeah, they did. I mean, not necessarily last night exactly, but you get what I mean. I don't want to repeat the past. I need space from this situation. Bottom deck energies, I can feel you moving on. I also pulled these cards out for some reason. And we have, I have feelings for you that I can't explain, as well as mirroring. I actually don't feel called to use these little ones today. So we'll just leave them out for now, and they will join us for another reading, another day. Let's get you some advice. What advice tends to come through for my beautiful pilot ones? Trust. I trust that everything will be okay in the end, partly because I simply know it in my gut, but also because it's way more fun to live with trust and confidence than to be a defensive wiener. I'm hearing nothing that is meant for you will pass you by. Ups and downs. I see life as an incredible ride, and I'm lucky to be on it. Yes, the ups and downs make me want to puke sometimes, but they're also what make things fun and interesting. And when you look back, even puking on yourself makes for a good story. It does. I can vouch for this. We also have a get centered. When it gets to be too much, whatever it is, I close my eyes and return to my center. In my center, I have the wisdom and tranquility of a favorite animal holding a broom, floating through space on a rock. My favorite animal right now, maybe frogs. But you fill this out however you want. And we also have clarity. Stopping to listen to my inner self, I can easily separate my intuition from my mental chatter. The clarity of my intuition is a sweet, simple fruit that tastes familiar, and the mental chatter is a confusing, bitter rind that I shall peel off and chuck into the garbage or compost heap if your mental chatter happens to be organic. I think you are very intuitive, and maybe I think that sometimes can cause you confusion and more anxiety than you might need to experience on a daily level. And the reason I'm saying this is because I think you're very intuitive and very sensitive to other people's emotions. And you could be kind of feeling other people's emotions, maybe this person's feelings, but in general as well as your own. You could be kind of carrying other people's emotions as well, which, while it can have benefits in terms of like empathy and supporting others and really understanding what it's like to be in their shoes, it can also be very, very difficult if you keep carrying emotions that are not your own as well as your own. That's a lot of emotions. So yes, just a reminder to discern what energies are yours and what's not, and that you're just like picking up on it. Because sometimes I think too much of anything can cause blockages. My brain is moving faster than my mouth. I think too much of anything can cause blockages, whether these are emotions, thoughts, fears. And I think it might be a good time to sift through what your intuition is telling you, what you've picked up from other people, what your ego might be telling you, what might be making you anxious, and so on. That is my reminder for you today. And on that note, I will end this reading right here. I hope it resonated. If it did not, there could be a message for you in another reading or in another pile. So if you feel called to do so, definitely do check those out. I'm sending you so much love and so much light. Take care and bye. Hello, my beautiful pile twos, and welcome. We are looking into what the person on your mind has on their mind about you, and I already shuffled out one oracle card. We're keeping it a little bit more on the simple side today, so I don't have too many decks. We only have this oracle deck to get some additional information. We have the tarot, we have channeled messages, and then we have one deck for advice. So to start off your reading, we have number 40, water element sensing. This is giving me 4 of Wands energy. This person feels at home with you. Their heart feels comfortable and their heart feels safe. And I know this because I just took a breath of relief. Immediately, like that's the energy I'm getting. It's kind of oozing out. It's a good energy. This person is really, really in their feels about you, and we'll get into the specifics of the situation a little bit more, but the one thing that you need to know is that this person really, really cares about you no matter what. They might be in a spot for some of you where they haven't been able to show you that yet, or maybe they're hesitating a little bit if this is a newer connection. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a newer connection, because I'm also getting a little bit of Ace of Cups, like Ace of Cups and 4 of Wands. You meet someone, it really clicks, you feel so good around them, they make you so happy, you have so much fun with them, it's so exciting, you feel inspired, you start listening to like love songs, you start dancing around, you smile to yourself. That's the energy I'm getting, and I think this is how this person feels about you, even though that's not what we're looking at. But I feel like they're so in their feels that their thoughts are kind of around the same concepts. And I promise you, I'm not just saying this because I promise you not every pile is like this. But this does feel like a lighter energy to me right off the bat. But maybe there is more to it, so I'm just gonna get some more cards so we can see. Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces energies could be significant, but they don't have to be. I'm also thinking of the moon. So they could have a water moon, or the moon could be significant to this connection. No, that is too many. We're not doing that. Oh, okay, I got one that fell into my lap. We have limits, but it reversed itself. So we will keep it that way. We have identity. I heard you brought color into my world. You may have introduced this person to, like, I don't know, a new hobby, a new concept, spirituality, some kind of sport. I don't know. Maybe you come from different cultures and you taught them about your culture. Whatever it might be, this person is happy to know you. And that seems to be what they're thinking about. But one thing I have to mention is with limits in reverse, for some of you, you might be in a situation where this person wishes that a particular obstacle in this connection wasn't there. So you could be in different places right now, or you could have some kind of rule, even if this is like a rule that you made. I'm talking like friends with benefits, for example. It feels like they kind of wish that that wasn't there. But it also feels like a newly emerging thought. So, you know, it might come and go. They might be in kind of a daydreaming energy about what it would be like to not have whatever this obstacle is between the two of you. I kind of want to get more cards. I got 2 for pile 1. This person feels free around you, free to be who they are, also free to explore their own personality. So you may have had very profound experiences with them, even if you just met them. It feels like you encourage that kind of self-exploration in each other, or that you're able to connect on a very, very deep level, but kind of opens up more doors for this person within their own self as well, where they get to see more of themselves. We have allies. There is companionship energy here. This person feels very, very connected to you. And they appreciate you a lot. And it feels like they want to be around you all the time. But maybe for some of you that's not very possible right now for whatever reason. We have wisdom as well. So I stand by my point that this person is learning quite a bit from you. We're discovering a lot through you. And this could be vice versa as well. It could go both ways too. This is good energy. I don't know why I did that to the cards. That does not look aesthetically pleasing. So let's just get into the tarot. I want to know what's on their mind. But we're taking it. It's gonna be a surprise. We're just gonna leave it there. All right, are you ready for the big reveal? We have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Okay. We have the Devil in reverse. This person has not been lucky in love, and I don't think you have either. I'm hearing, what a shame, what a shame, what a shame. We didn't meet sooner. And yes, I heard what a shame 3 times. Okay. Oh, don't. Okay. There we go. I caught it. We have the 6 of Swords. Honestly, this feels a little bit like daydreaming energy to me. This is someone like who could be daydreaming about where the two of you could go, where the two of you could run off to if you didn't have obligations, if, you know, you didn't need to work or you didn't need to study. or you didn't have some specific responsibility. Oh, we have the Emperor in reverse as well. A lot of major arcana. I do think this person sees this connection as being very significant to them already. And you could have known them for a long time as well. You don't need to have just met them. But you are on this person's mind as if you have just met them. You know, when you meet someone and you have a crush on them and, you know, you kind of just think about them all the time. That's the energy I'm getting. And that's why I assumed it may have been a new connection, but it really doesn't have to be. We have Aries, Taurus, Capricorn. Is the Wheel of Fortune fixed sign? I'm getting confused again, but if it is fixed signs, then we have Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio, and Taurus. We have Virgo as well. This person, they seem to have either struggled with finding who they are. They could still be in this energy, but being around you seems to make things more smooth, seems to make things more easier. And it seems to give this person the impression that things are getting better, things can get better, and like they're moving into a different phase of their life. Like meeting you was a blessing in this way. I saw the Five of Pentacles, but it didn't really want to come out. One thing that is Five of Pentacles, again, so it did want to come out. One thing that is making a little bit more sense to me right now is I think this person may be having some issues with their mental health, and they could have struggled with their mental health for a very, very long time. They may have opened up to you about this, but I think there is a lot of depth to what they're dealing with. It can be very deeply rooted. They could have trauma from childhood because it feels like a lot, like they have been carrying a lot. And it feels like maybe not a lot of people have shown them that they're understood and that they don't have to go through everything alone, that they don't always need to depend on their own self. This person might be someone who has been abandoned or who has felt abandoned in past relationships. This could also be in their relationship with their family, their parents, their siblings. But it could also be a romantic relationship. It could be friendships as well. But it feels like there's a sense of this person feeling a little bit alienated in some way, shape, or form quite often and quite consistently. But meeting you seems to have turned that around. And they seem to not be feeling so alone anymore. But I don't think this means that they're still not prone to self-sabotage or shutting down sometimes or pulling away. If they come off hot and cold to you, this could be why that they have a fear of things not working out for them, because they might be under the impression that things just don't work out for them because of their past experiences. And that is a pattern that they need to break themselves. That is a pattern that can be broken through inner work. It can be broken through therapy. It can be broken through experience, just real life experience. Literally having their thoughts be disproven. But one thing I feel called to mention is that it is not your responsibility to take on this person's healing. You can be there with them. You can be there for them. You can be next to them. You can support them. But it is not your responsibility to do their healing for them, because it just won't work that way. It's like And I'm not saying this to alarm you, but if you've noticed specific patterns about this person, if they come and go a lot, if they seem hesitant, if they shut down, or if they've talked about very negative or difficult past experiences, I'm also getting like substance use, or just, it doesn't even need to be on like a very dangerous, health-threatening level, but it could just be that they have a tendency to become dependent on escapist behaviors, whether this is like drinking, or whether this is just running off to another city whenever things get hard and just like traveling and not taking care of any work responsibilities or study responsibilities, or whether this is just shutting down when someone gets too close. But yes, let's get some more cards. They see you as someone very nurturing, very, very giving, and I think they feel seen by you, and that could be why they're so attracted to your energy. They might not be really good at setting boundaries, is one thing that's coming through. They might either set too much or too little. So it might be kind of in your hands to set healthy boundaries for this connection. Because boundaries, they're not bad. They're necessary. We need space to grow ourselves as well. And without boundaries, we don't have space to do that. I know this is meant to be about their thoughts, but I feel very called to talk about these things. But of course, they don't need to resonate with you. But if they do, I feel like these are important things to maybe know about the situation or consider. We have the Empress in reverse coming out as well. For some of you, this person could have lost a maternal figure at a young age, or not even at a young age, just at any age. And that could have really impacted the way they perceive everything, the way they act. We have the World coming out. And I just realized we have the Emperor and the Empress. Libra and Taurus energies could be significant as well. And we have the Tower. I already saw this while shuffling. You are definitely changing this person's life in some way. Maybe you being there really helps them find the courage to heal or deal with thoughts that they may have not had the courage to deal with before. It feels like they have been through a lot of hardships, regardless of what these may be. And maybe you've experienced similar things, but it feels like maybe you've had a better way of, or you've found a better way of dealing with these experiences compared to this person. And this could be something that they're learning from you as well. And I'm not saying that it's your responsibility to teach them, but I think inevitably by seeing you and being in your presence, this person feels inspired. And they seem to be understanding their own self better as well, and how they connect in relationships, what their fears are, what their red flags might be. And I cut the deck and we have the Lovers. That's what I've been meaning to show you. They feel very, very connected to you. And it feels safe and comfortable, but maybe on a very subconscious level, or maybe not even on a subconscious level, but quite literally, it might scare them a little bit as well that they will lose this too. And it might be too soon for them to feel this way, or you might feel like it's too soon if you've just met this person. I cut the deck and we have the Three of Swords, but I think they have some kind of, I don't even know how to describe it. But I feel like they have been through a lot, so they just kind of immediately right off the bat consider every scenario. And maybe that's often not the best thing to do, but that seems to be how they've been getting by so far. They feel very encouraged by you. Is another thing that I'm getting. Very encouraged, very supported, very seen. I cut the deck and we have the Ace of Wands in reverse, and that made me think of a ghost for some reason. Maybe they haven't felt as valued before. Maybe, again, if you've just met them, it might feel like their feelings are blown out of proportion, but I wouldn't think for most of you that this connection, like that kind of deep, both intellectual and emotional bond, I feel like that would be a mutual thing. But if it's not, it could also be that this person's experiences kind of make them approach connections in this way. They might feel like they're not a very fortunate person, or like they have been fortunate in connections so far. But I can tell you that they feel fortunate to have met you. But that doesn't mean that they're not scared, because I feel like there's quite a bit of anxiety and quite a bit of fear here. Now, I want to get some channeled messages to see what this person would say to you. We have, I don't feel worthy. I'm not good enough. I don't want to give too much away. I can't give to this connection right now. I don't know how to fix things. I don't know how to express myself. Please be patient with me. They definitely have the potential and the capacity to heal. I think it's just they haven't found the right conditions to do this yet. Or maybe they haven't found the courage to do it yet. We have intuition, which for me confirms that there is a very deep bond here that they feel with you. We have, I've been thinking about you a lot lately, coming out. We also have, you know that I'm not the one for you. So brings me back to that energy of like being insecure a little bit. Not a little bit, but I mean, it'll depend on the situation, but I do feel that this person commonly could be dealing with a lot of insecurities, but I think they're also coming to discover themselves and see themselves from a different light. So this is not a permanent energy, but just essentially a snapshot of what might be on their mind right now. So now I want to get you some advice. We've talked about them, so let's talk about you. I actually want to use the other affirmators deck. Just give me a second. I'm just gonna go get that one, because I somehow feel like that's gonna be more relevant by this reading. The relationships one. What advice wants to come through for the very beautiful pile times, please? What advice wants to come through? Warmth. I focus on warmth and let it guide all my interactions. No matter how others behave, I choose to respond warmly. With warmth, I can melt any icy exterior. I can soften any hard feelings. I can microwave any pizza. Today, I adopt the saying, kill them with kindness, and turn myself into a warm and loving serial killer. Ownership. I take ownership for how I make others feel, and I do my part to repair any bridges I might have burned, or perhaps even lightly singed. If bridge mending feels impossible, then I can start small. Instead of becoming a bridge architect, maybe I'll just skip the bridge and walk the long way around. Taking ownership is great for burning calories. So my storage ran out as I was talking about this card, so I will quickly go over what I was saying. Essentially, what I get from this message, at least what it's making me think of, is that it's okay for you to be human. And what I mean by that is I see this a lot in the spiritual community, especially, where there seems to be this idea that we can't react out of our feelings, or we can't really react. We always need to be on top of everything. We always need to have a bird's eye view instantly of everything, just because we are aware of what we're healing, just because we're working on our wounds or like our inner child healing, whatever it might be. That doesn't mean that you're not allowed to have human reactions to things. And of course, it doesn't have to be this extreme that you feel like you always need to be perfect towards other people, but you're allowed to fuck up as well. I'm not talking anything abusive or anything of that sort, but I am talking you're allowed to be upset with people, or you're allowed to make mistakes. You need to forgive yourself when you do make mistakes instead of judging yourself or just, overthinking about it, just holding on to it and like repeating in your head over and over again and torturing yourself. If that is something that you do, it doesn't have to be to that extent. But essentially, you need to forgive yourself for little slip-ups that you may have, for fucking up every once in a while. And that gives the other person the opportunity to forgive you as well, when you accept how you've made them feel, instead of just rejecting and like judging yourself for that behavior as if you're not allowed and that's unacceptable. I'm not saying like go and hurt people, obviously, but I am saying that if you happen to fuck up, if you happen to get mad, that is okay. You're allowed to have feelings. You're allowed to react. And if you fuck up, you take responsibility for it. You think about it. You understand where it may have been coming from. Maybe you were having a bad day. Maybe you were really frustrated. Whatever it is, you just take responsibility for it. And you work on it. You watch out for it next time. And the reason what I'm going to tie this to and like circle back around to is you both might be coming into this connection with specific wounds, anxieties, fears, things that you might still be working on from past relationships, from past experiences. And so there might be certain triggers that make you feel some kind of way. And you might judge yourself for feeling that way, or you might feel guilty for feeling that way. But you're just being human, essentially. So it's important to talk about these things and communicate clearly. And I think maybe that's something that can be learned through this connection, if this message applies to you, of course. But that is just something I felt like talking about. Let's get you one more card to finish off your reading. Is there anything else that needs to come through for my pile? Choose, please, universe. Wholeness. I am complete, whole, and filled with love. I have everything I need. If I ask or look for more, I'm ignoring the love and gifts that are already in my life. Instead, I'll be grateful and acknowledge that anything else would be extra icing on life's cake. FYI to whoever is listening, extra icing is totally welcome, as it's obviously the most delicious part. I also feel called to take the bottom deck, so we will. Wants and needs. I take stock of my relationships and I'm honest about what I want and need from the people in my life. I note the difference between the two. Wants are negotiable, needs are not. Both may be desired and either may be acquired, but that's getting into Venn diagram territory and no one wants to draw one of those, though some of us might need to. I think boundaries are also possibly significant to this connection. Setting boundaries, maintaining boundaries, healthy boundaries. But yes, this is all I have for you, my beautiful pile twos. Let me know if this resonated. If it did not, there could be a message for you in another reading or in another pile. So if you feel called to do so, definitely do check those out. I'm sending you so much love and so much light. Take care and bye. Hello, my beautiful pile threes, and welcome. We are looking into, oh, what is that? I just cut bangs, so I think I'm still shedding some little hairs. But anyway, let's get into your reading. We are looking into what the person on your mind has on their mind about you. And I already got you this oracle card. So we'll start with that, and then we will clarify with some more oracle cards, tarot advice, and all that. So to start off your reading, we have number 23, Aquarius, I know. And the first thing I heard after I shuffled, because I kind of took a moment to, I was curious, so I took a moment to feel the energy for a second, and the first thing I heard was afraid to face the light. And that is making me feel like this could be someone who either ghosted you or pulled their energy away, maybe in a sudden and unexpected way. It could be that certain things came to light. Maybe they weren't fully honest with you, maybe. And this could also be just them having not been honest about their true feelings towards you. but it feels like there was either some dishonesty or something that wasn't out in the open at first, and then it became more apparent, or it just came out suddenly one day. And this person, it feels like they don't enjoy being vulnerable too much. They might feel very, very uncomfortable in that kind of energy. And it almost feels like when they think about this connection, what they think about is a fear of being found out or a fear of being found. It's almost like they're in hiding. Whether you are in contact with them or not, it could be that they're not being fully authentic, and I feel like you might have a feeling about this. If this doesn't sound like your situation, don't be alarmed, because I feel like with the star energy coming through, some light has already been shed onto this situation, whatever has been going on. And it feels like you have seen either this person's true intentions or what's really going on with them, at least to some degree, even if it's not the full story that you know yet. That's the initial energy I'm getting. There is an avoidant, cautious, kind of guarded energy here. We have society. I heard I want to disappear into the crowd. Very interesting energy. I'm also hearing I don't want to be highlighted. I don't want to be in the spotlight. There could be they could be unsure how you feel about them or what you might think about them. So just a thought of that could be worrying. We also have number 41, inner transformation. And bottom deck energy is number 52, wonder. It feels like this is separation energy for most of you, because it feels like this person doesn't entirely know what might be going on with you. And they could be wondering about how you see them now. I think how others view them is important to them. And it's almost an energy of if pile 3 is going to think badly of me, I'd rather have them not think about me at all. I'd rather have them forget me and what happened. It almost feels like that kind of energy, which is really interesting. I don't think I've ever picked up on an energy like this before. So I immediately want to go into the tarot, actually, even though I just stopped shuffling the oracles, because I feel like there's a lot beneath the surface with this person. Or like more than what meets the eye to this situation. This is someone who wants to be accepted. I think they really value being accepted and being seen as part of the group. I don't know why it's coming through in that way. But again, other people's opinions are highlighted to me in this pile. We have the Magician. Gemini or Virgo energies could be significant. We had the Four of Pentacles. It seems like they've been strategic with what information they've shared with you and what information they haven't, or what parts of themselves that they were showing to you. and what parts they were hiding. There is something a little bit sneaky about this energy, I'm not gonna lie. We have the Ace of Wands in reverse. It feels like they didn't get their way. Or maybe there was something they wanted to get away with, but you called them out on it. This could be some kind of pattern where they were being like shady or they weren't being honest with you. But it could also just be a specific thing that they didn't tell you about. Yeah, we have a Nine of Cups in reverse as well. They definitely didn't get their way and they seem frustrated about it with the Ace of Wands in reverse, especially. There is like dissatisfaction. We have the Six of Cups. We have Temperance in reverse. This might be someone who creates a lot of chaos, especially in their intimate relationships, because it's almost like there is a longing for some movement in their life. This could be someone who creates like a lot of drama, even if they say they're not very dramatic. They have a Five of Wands coming out as well. And the Seven of Pentacles. I think they understand that they did something wrong here. They messed up somehow. And that's why it feels like they're more so in an energy of looking away from what happened in this situation rather than dwelling in that energy. It feels like they're kind of trying to get away, if I'm being honest. We have the Hierophant in reverse as well. They could have really acted out of their ego. That's the main energy that's coming through. They could have lashed out at you. They could have projected what they did onto you. They could have blamed you for something that they did, or they could have kind of turned things around in a way. Let's say they did something wrong. Let's say they lied, and then you called them out on it, and then they could have been like, how could you not trust me? And like, how could you have looked at that text and, you know, you didn't trust me, you looked at my texts, but then that could have been how you found out they lied, for example. But then they could have turned it all around and made you feel bad for seeing it, if that makes sense. That's kind of the energy I'm getting. There is a little bit of a manipulative energy to this person. We have the Queen of Swords in reverse as well, which is making me feel like they may have tried to confuse you or distract you from the truth. And we have Judgment coming out. They're thinking about how they've been found out. That's what's on their mind. But then again, I don't think it's a thought they like to have very often, because I don't think they like to face their own behaviors and the consequences of their own behaviors. But whatever happened here, whatever they may have done, if they really hurt you, if they were dishonest, it's not because you deserve to be treated that way, but it's because of whatever has been going on in them. It's on them. And it's because of them. It's not your fault, how this person may have treated you, and I think it's very important for you to know that. Because it almost feels like they could have blamed you to the very end and then just disappeared, or just like disappeared once they found out or discovered that they're not gonna get their way. And maybe in the past they could, but it feels like they came to the realization that they can't anymore. Take out the deck and we have the Seven of Swords. They're running, and I don't think they're just running from this situation, but I think they're also running from healing whatever is going on with them. They could be very insecure. They could have difficulty with intimacy, with developing very deep, intimate connections. This could be because they already came into this situation carrying a lot of pain. And I'm not saying this to excuse their behavior at all, but I'm saying it so we can maybe understand what was happening here a little bit better. But again, it doesn't justify how they may have made you feel. Just because they were hurt doesn't mean that they can hurt you. Especially if they're not owning up to anything, because that's the energy I'm getting here, is that they seem to be kind of, their energy is restless. But it's also kind of almost like an illusion. That's what their energy feels like to me. Like they are in an illusion in some way, shape, or form. Possibly also they could be in an illusion about their own self, which I think is a very likely scenario here. I don't think they have a clear image of their own self, or even if they recognize some of their behaviors and understand they did something wrong, it feels like they don't really work through these things or accept these things. Not in the sense of this is who I am, I'm going to keep doing it, but acceptance in the sense of this is what I did, I will take responsibility for it. It seems like they're almost stuck in the same chapter, and maybe that's why I was getting kind of this almost bored energy, but it's also restless. It's very conflicting. And this is how they could have come off with you as well. They could have said things that didn't make sense. There could have been a lot of inconsistencies in the connection itself. This is not a clear energy, at least not in the sense that I don't think they see things clearly. Or even if they do, they don't want to. Even if it's right in front of them, it's like they try to look somewhere else. They could have made you feel in ways you really don't deserve to feel, because their energy feels heavy. It feels very knotted. And it's on them to figure out. It's on them to figure this out. It's not on you. And there is an awareness that they didn't treat you right, but then again, it feels like it's being pushed away as well. Like they don't fully accept it, that it is what they did. I think they're very protective of their own self and of who they think they are, but I don't think they know who they are either. Because I think they refuse to look whenever things get real. I'm hearing you've done all you can. So of course, take these however they resonate. We have the Tower in reverse coming out as well, which is kind of giving me the energy that this person is running away from something that's inevitable. Which is facing the consequences. They can't really just keep running forever. Everyone gets tired at one point. Especially not when they're carrying so much with them, because I think this is someone who's very wounded themselves as well. Again, not to justify their behavior, but it feels like they're carrying a lot of weight and they can't run with that forever. They're gonna have to, even if they try to leave them behind, it feels like they're either gonna bump into these things again along their path because they keep going in circles, so it's not like they're actually going anywhere, or these things are gonna come back to haunt them. That's essentially the energy I'm getting from this, but I want to get some channeled messages now. I cut the deck and look at the message. You haunt me, and we're taking this because what was I just saying? And they feel very closed off. This was more difficult for me to channel than the other two piles. It's like I keep feeling disconnected from them. And I think this is also because they feel disconnected from themselves as well, and possibly from the things around them. We have, I can feel you moving on. I feel lonely without you. Because I heard, because I don't have anyone, I don't even have myself. Which is making me think of inner child wounds as well. I want to see where this situation goes. I heard I want to keep moving. So this could also be referring to whatever situation they are in right now. We have you are a wish come true. I'm sorry, I know I hurt you. I heard, but they didn't say sorry to you. So for some of you, maybe you were expecting an apology from this person that never came. They seem very prideful for some of you. For like they can be very prideful at times and have difficulty being vulnerable and doing the responsible thing. And a Ness. Oh, I dropped another one. I'm not sure of anything anymore. I heard I don't know who I am. I want to travel with you, and we also have I love you. But bottom deck energies, I'm emotionally unavailable. Even the messages to me feel very inconsistent. It almost feels like they would try. This could be someone who tries like different approaches to see what would work to get what they want. So they could come off as like a bunch of different people almost. In terms of the energies, we have Virgo, Gemini, Aquarius, and Sagittarius and Taurus. These could be significant, but they don't have to be. Now, I want to move on to getting advice on who. We have power. I am strong. I am grounded. I am powerful. I'm like a cross between a dinosaur and a tank, but not a tank that is used for war. I'm like a peaceful, loving dino tank who feels so strong it doesn't need to do anything but be. We also have friendliness. Whenever I smile, I make someone's day better. What a cool way to buy happiness for free. Today, I will remember what an awesome power I hold, and I'll take joy in improving lives simply by giving away grins like crazy. Note, in a pinch, money will also work. What I take from these two, is essentially, you can't let this person take from your energy, from your happiness, from how you live your life right now, especially if this is a situation that you dealt with in the past, but you could still have like recurring thoughts about it, which I understand because this feels like a heavy energy, like it's been a difficult experience for you. I'm not sure about the specifics of this situation, but the most important thing here is that you're taking care of yourself and that you're not letting this situation take from you any more than it already may have. Because you deserve better, my pile threes. It's up to you what you decide to do, what you want to do. But you deserve better than this version of this person, this version of this situation. And bottom right energy, by the way, is worthiness. I am worthy of the ultimate happiness. I deserve and accept it, and damn it, I'm not going to feel guilty about it when I get it. Guilt is not invited to my happiness party. I won't even tell him where it is. If he asks about it, I'll be like, no, I think you're thinking of something else. And then I'll run away very quickly, which is a beautiful message, I think, especially in this situation if you've been feeling some kind of way about it. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't allow yourself to feel whatever it is that you need to feel, but I think it's important to let negative feelings go once they've kind of done their time, once you have felt them enough. I mean, there really is no way to measure that, of course, but you'll know if past emotions are holding you back and they keep pulling you back. You'll know if you feel stuck in a situation that shouldn't be taking from your energy anymore. Well, it's not to say you can't take your time in dealing with your emotions and processing what you need to, but there is a difference between, I feel called to mention two things that I like to give as reminders, and I also like to remind myself that there is a difference between thinking about your emotions and actually feeling your emotions. And for some of you, you could have been just thinking about the emotions, which kind of creates a loop because you're also not fully feeling them, so they can't be fully processed and you can't really let go of them, and they create blockages in your energy. They take up space more than they need to. And the second reminder, which I kind of touched on, but it's something I've said, I think, several times on the channel before, but I think it's a really good reminder. And that is, holding on to toxic feelings will not poison the person that hurt you, but they will eventually poison you. And again, this doesn't mean you can't feel them and that you shouldn't be upset about things at all. You should be upset. You're allowed to be upset. You're human. Feel your emotions, whatever you need to. But don't let them poison you. And don't let them stick to you and take up space when you could be calling in so many positive feelings, so many positive experiences into your life as well. And yes, this is all I have for you, my beautiful pile threes. Let me know if this resonated. If it did not, there could be a message for you in another reading or in another pile. So if you feel called to do so, definitely do check those out. I'm sending you so much love and so much light. Take care and bye.